Welcome to the Mr. Shades show. This is the last of Punisher month. So we're going to start with the review of season 2 of the Punisher Netflix series. Now, this series is this season was a little rough on me. I think everybody can pretty much agrees that it wasn't as good as it should have been. A lot of people are saying it wasn't as interesting or as well paced or as well written. I can agree to an extent. First few episodes of the season weren't the greatest. Lots of setup, lots of character development, just lots of stuff going on that I didn't quite enjoy as much as probably the next person. First 6 episodes were setting up everything, your bad guys, your situation. And it was really, really slow. It spent a lot of time spinning its wheels, doing slight character development. Not very, for one new character. For all new characters, pretty much was all character development. This whole season felt like we were just waiting for them to just because it was really short on the writing aspect, the story aspect felt really short, so they stretched as much as they could to fill the time, because I get the feeling these writers didn't really know what to do with the Punisher after so long, right? Because they finished his story, his arc in the first season, so what were they going to do? Well, make him be the fucking Punisher for one. Because one complaint I have is that the first season starts with the Punisher, Frank Castle, trying to move on, stop the killing, because he thought he had got revenge. Turns out he didn't. Now that he's gotten revenge, he wants to give it up. So they're kind of almost repeating the same beat. But by the end of the season, he ends up saying, fuck it, I'm the Punisher, I'm just going to do this. So I found the villain this time around to be a little on the weak and underdeveloped side. Lots of it was behind the scenes political blackmailing things. It wasn't really really hardcore, really heavy stuff that you would expect. This felt more like something like a Captain America book, or a character who's more involved in politics would deal with. Not so much the Punisher. So basically the idea is this family called the Schultzes are trying to groom their son into being president. Right now he's a senator or something. And they're killing and blackmailing and stealing and stuff to make sure that happens. And then the Russians hire some girls, or a girl and a group of her friends, to go take pictures of the senator, try and get incriminating documents and photos on the senator for the Russians to blackmail the Schultzes into letting the Russians control the American government instead of the Schultzes controlling the American government. See, it's really convoluted. The Russian thing is done by season 6, and then it just becomes dealing with the Schultzes and our main hitman assassin guy, John Pilgrim, who dresses like a preacher for some reason. I guess they just wanted to really have a certain image for this bad guy, and they could have used anybody from the comics. If the Russians were involved, why not have the Russian? I don't know. It was pretty rough for that. I actually made a tweet. Almost all my predictions were wrong for this season. I tweeted a long time ago. Where is it? Hang on. That I had a few predictions at the end of season 1. And I will just read you the tweet here when I find it. I took a screenshot. Yeah, here it is. So I said, #The Punisher season 2 will be Jigsaw. I was right there. And the Nucci's. I thought that because they name dropped the Nucci's in the first season, and Frank kind of killed a group of them, so I thought maybe, oh, and then it just disappears throughout the season. So I thought maybe season 2 is going to be the Nucci crime family, which would have been that would have been spot on. That would have been awesome. If we get a season 3, I'd like to see that for season 3 maybe. And then I said we might even see some more familiar faces like the Russian or Bullseye. We did see Bullseye. He was in the Daredevil season 3, not Punisher. So I was kind of half right, and I was right on one. Now, the only really good villain was Jigsaw, and he was a different version than how he was in the comic books. He's not the big crazy mafia guy anymore. And he's obviously not quite as cut up and fucked up as he is in the books. Basically, he just has amnesia and he's trying to remember everything that happened. Throughout the season, he kind of pieces it all together, but he still doesn't quite remember everything by the end. He just knows that he did these things. He doesn't remember him actually doing them. So, again, it's kind of wishy-washy with him. So I found that kind of interesting to a point because the first episodes, the first 6 episodes are him dealing with his amnesia and stuff, and it doesn't quite feel like it sped along as much as it should have. So that's pretty much the story. I don't really want to spoil too much more than I already have. For action scenes, I would have to say they're passable. There's no good fights like there was in Daredevil season 2. There wasn't really any standout or really cool action scenes as there was in season 1. Season 1 had way better action, gunfights, fighting. All that I felt was way better in the season 1. The coolest fight in this one, is really stylized by they have like a strobe light going off while Punisher's being punched, shot at, cut up. It's pretty cool, but that's the best we got in the whole season. So action wise, it's not really the greatest. And I'll say this again, for the pacing, it was really weird. First 6 episodes were kind of slow. 7, 8, and kind of 9, it started getting going. And then the last chunk of the season was great. So it wasn't really like the season 1 where it just kept amping up everything and like snowballing it. Here it was just kind of back and forth between certain things. So will I recommend it? Overall, I think I'm going to have to give this season probably 6 out of 10. I don't like giving halves. 6 out of 10. And that's coming from me, Punisher fan. I don't think casual fans are going to come and see this. Even the people who saw season 1 the people who saw season 1 are the only one coming back for season 2. And from what I've heard other people say, they don't really care for it all that much either. But so that's season 2 of The Punisher. A little bit of a disappointment to me, but I'm still satisfied I saw it because I just love Jon Bernthal's Punisher. I think it's pretty compelling. But I'm still going to have to say the best on-screen Punisher we ever got was Thomas Jane in the 2004 movie. That is still the best one to me. You have the highs, the lows of Punisher, the dark humor. Jon Bernthal doesn't quite have the dark humor. He says some funny things, but it's not the dark delivery that we expect from the comic books here. So that's going to do it. So I had a lot of fun doing Punisher Month. Watching all the movies, playing that classic game again. But this brings it to the end of it. So I just want to say thanks everybody for watching throughout the month, and I really appreciate that. And if you guys have any more suggestions, if you want to see me continue doing content like this, where I basically for a whole month I'm covering one character or a series or something, if you have any suggestions or things you want my opinions on, please let me know. You can reach out to me on my Twitter, my Facebook, comment down below on the video. Other than that, I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Mr. Shades Show. So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you all next time.